So in this video, we're going to look at the FMTT from Friday the 28th of April, the foundation one, on proportion and money. In this, I'll go through the solutions and we'll also give some key points as to where students didn't pick up full marks. So for question one, we've got a standard sort of recipe problem. We've got some ingredients that we've got the recipe and how many biscuits it will make. Now, we have to work out the greatest number of biscuits that Heidi can make. A few ways that we can go about doing this. The most straightforward is by saying 500 divided by 1.125. This will be for the butter. That's 4, so we can make 4 batches from the butter. For the flour, 700 divided by 200. Well, that's 3.5 or 3.5. And for the sugar, 250 divided by 50, that's 5. So we have enough butter to make 4 batches, enough flour to make 3.5 batches, and enough sugar to make 5 batches. So 3.5 is the most amount that we can make. Each batch will make 12 biscuits. So we'd want to do 3.5 multiplied by 12. That is equal to 42. Now that would be our answer here. That would be worth all 4 marks. That's only one approach, and on a non-calculator paper, those divisions aren't necessarily the most straightforward things to do. So the alternative approach here is to count up. So we can start, we know 12 biscuits, and if we've got butter, flour and sugar, 12 biscuits needs 125 grams of butter, 200 grams of flour, 50 grams of sugar. Well, if we add another 12, that would be 24 biscuits. We'd need 250 grams of butter, add 125, add 200 to the flour, will give you 400, and add 50 to the sugar, that's 100. Now, bear in mind, we've got 500 grams of butter, we haven't hit that limit, 700 grams of flour, 400 doesn't hit that limit, 250 grams of sugar, 100 doesn't hit that limit. So we're fine. So we look at 36. This is 3 batches. So 375, that's still fine. 600 grams, we're still under. And 150 of sugar, we're still under there. Now, the problem that many people then encountered was that to make another full batch would require another 200 grams of flour. At this point, we only have 100 left. Now, the thing is, with biscuits, we can make parts of a batch. We don't have to make all 12. Now, we've got 100 grams of flour left. So with 100 grams of flour, that's half of the amount of flour we'd need. So that would be 6 biscuits. So with another 6 biscuits, that would take us to 42. We'd need half the amount of butter, but we could do a full lot of butter and still be fine. It would hit our limit on flour, and we'd still have enough sugar because we've got enough to do a full lot there. So that shows our answer is 42. The big error people made with answering this was hitting 36 and not realizing they needed to use the leftover flour. In some cases, that cost people 2 marks. In some places, it just costs them the final mark. But it's that recognition, you've got 100 grams left, and that can make another 6 biscuits. Now, the extra mark on this was talking about Heidi having more than 250 grams of sugar, and does it affect the greatest number of biscuits Heidi can make? Now, you can only get this mark if you picked up at least 3 in the first part of the question. And the answer is no. Because sugar's not the problem, flour is. So it could be no, because flour is the limiting ingredient. Now, this one, again, once people realized that flour was the problem in the first bit, they often pick this up in the second bit. But you need to state flour was the problem. Right, question 2, we've got a couple of special offers on milk. Now, a lot of people did very well at working out the cost. So we're going to start with this. We're going to look at the 2-pint one. Now, the offer is you pay for 2 bottles and get 1 free. So that means you'd get a total of 3 bottles at 2 pints in each. That's going to be 6 pints, and it costs 150p. For the 4-pinter, we pay for 1 bottle, we get 1 bottle half price. So that means half of £1.28. Half of £1.28 is 64 pence, and if you add that on, it's £1.92 or 192 pence. And you're getting 2 bottles for that, which is a total of 8 pints. You can see here that I've now laid this out. 6 pints, 150, 8 pints, 192. We've got a couple of ways we can go next. We could go down to 1 pint for each and compare the cost of what 1 pint would be with the offers. 150 divided by 6 would be 25 pence. 192 divided by 8 would be 24 pence, showing that the 4-pint offer is the better value one. We could alternatively go up to a total of 24 pints, because 6 and 8 are both factors of 24. That would be 4 lots here. 4 lots of 150 would be 600 pence. For the 8-pinter, that's 3 times as much. And 3 lots of 192 is going to come in at, and this is where I'm struggling to do this mentally, so I'm going to do the written arithmetic here. Column method. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. 576 pence. So my final answer here is that the 4-pint is better value for money. Now, you had to have comparable amounts for each offer. So you had to work out the offer first. You then had to compare. A lot of people just worked out the offer and then didn't compare, or worked out the offer and just said, oh, it's 2 extra pints and it costs an extra 42p, so it's better value. You need to have comparable values. Now, question 3, the most straightforward one, the one people did best with, working out the total cost. So we've got 120 pence for the loaf of bread. I'm going to work in pence for each one. Bottle of milk, which is 70, and 2 packets of cheese, each at 230 pence. I'm going to work with it all in pence. I could do 230 times 2, but I'm just going to write it as an addition here. So 0, 2 plus 7, 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So the total cost is 650 pence. I need to take that away from £10 or 1,000 pence. I'm going to use the column subtraction method here. Take that away there, doesn't leave anything, gives us 10, but I still need to get to taking away from that 5. So take the 100 there, put it there. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 6 is 3. So Danny should get 350p change. He says he should get £3.30. Danny is not correct. No, he should get 350 pence or £3.50 change. The biggest error I saw here was people not reading or using 2 packets of cheese. If it says 2 packets, you have to use both packets. And that concludes the solutions to this week's FMTT.